You sit down to work and you tell yourself that this time you are actually going to focus. You open your laptop and then, without even deciding to, your hand reaches for your phone. Just one quick check, you say. 30 minutes later, you are still scrolling and you're sitting there thinking, why do I keep doing this to myself? Here's what nobody tells you. It is not laziness and it is not weakness. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And by the end of this, you are going to catch it happening in real time. Your brain has one job above everything else, and that job is to keep you away from discomfort. Not from actual danger, but from anything that feels hard or unpleasant. Think about the things you know you should be doing, but keep finding reasons to avoid. The gym you keep skipping, the work you keep pushing to tomorrow, the goal you keep saying you will start next week. Your brain looks at all of that and immediately starts looking for a way out. It whispers, why would we do any of this when we could just feel good right now? And that is why procrastination never feels like a bad decision in the moment. It feels like the most natural and comfortable thing in the world. Here's the part that actually matters though. Every single time you give in to that feeling, you are teaching your brain something. You are teaching it that avoiding effort feels better than trying. Your brain stores that lesson and remembers it. And the next time any kind of resistance shows up, it comes back even stronger than before. So the harder you try to fight it with pure willpower, the harder it pushes back against you. That is because your brain does not respond to force. It only ever responds to reward. So instead of trying to fight the resistance, start making it smaller. Instead of sitting down and telling yourself you have to work for 2 solid hours, just say, I will do 5 minutes. It sounds way too simple, and it probably feels a little silly even saying it, but that's exactly the point. Your brain hears 5 minutes and thinks, okay, that does not sound painful at all. I can do that. So it stops fighting and it lets you start. And starting is honestly the only thing that matters here, because the moment you actually start, something shifts. The resistance that felt so heavy starts getting lighter, the momentum starts building, and your brain feels something it genuinely did not expect to feel: progress. And once it experiences that feeling, it wants to feel it again. Most people get this completely wrong, and it costs them everything. They try the 5-minute approach once, it works, and then they get excited and go all in the next day. They push themselves too hard too fast, the resistance spikes back up immediately, they burn out within a week and quit. Then they sit there and convince themselves that discipline is just not something they are built for. But that thinking is wrong. It was never about how hard you push yourself. It is about how consistently you show up, even in the smallest way, and how many small wins you stack on top of each other over time. Think about how easy it is to pick up your phone and start scrolling. You never have to force yourself to do it. You never sit there waiting to feel motivated enough to open Instagram. That is because your brain has been rewarded by it so many times that it feels completely automatic now. Discipline can work in the exact same way. You just have to teach your brain that doing the work also leads to a reward. And you do that one small win at a time, repeating it until the effort starts to feel just as natural as reaching for your phone. And once that shift happens inside your brain, everything around it changes too. You stop sitting around waiting to feel motivated before you begin. You stop dreading the work that is waiting for you. You just start. Not because you forced yourself into it, but because your brain learned something new through repetition. It learned that the discomfort you were so afraid of is actually temporary. It learned that effort is not something to run from. And it learned that progress is always possible if you just give it 5 minutes to begin. So the next time you sit down to do something important, and that familiar voice in your head says, later, not now, I don't feel like it, you will catch it. You will know exactly what that voice is and exactly why it is showing up, and you will start anyway. Not because you suddenly found a burst of motivation, not because you forced yourself through sheer willpower, but because you now know that 5 simple minutes is all it takes to get your brain out of its own way. Watch this again. Pay attention to the moment when you feel like looking away from it. That's exactly where your real change begins. Now tell me, what is the one thing you've been putting off that you already know you should have started by now?
Drop it in the comments below, because just saying it out loud is already your 5 minutes.